Okay, today we're doing a follow-up. I did a video about a month ago, 4 weeks ago, and it was the Pinchin, because the plants, the figs cuttings had reached the height I'd wanted them to reach, and so I thought try and encourage these figlets to swell and also to get a proper shape. I didn't want these growing 6 foot tall because we're in the polytunnel. A few weeks later the branchings happened very quickly actually. Very good branching. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 on that one. Next one, same again. Got pinched and good branching on that one as well. This one here too, you could see the figs of, I think so anyway, I'll check back 4 weeks ago, but I think the figs have probably swollen a little bit more. And we've got the branching, because if they continue like this, we're now going to the 20th of July, so we should have some good scaffolding for next year. On this one as well, you can see where it was pinched, and quite a lot of growth, surprising amount of growth really in just 4 weeks. These are just in the little pots I've been watered just now with a heavy drip, more like spray irrigation. But the effect I was wanting has, I think it's happening perfectly, maybe too quickly. Probably want more to go into the figs than the branching, but that's okay, I could accept that. But that's anyway, that's the effect, and that's why you do your pinching, because you then, instead of having one straight long branch, you can see here we've got a polytunnel, got a sheet there. As you can see, these figs have already, they're touching the plastic, so I can't have them growing taller than that. This one here as well is close to the top, close to the polythene, so a couple of feet in scaffolds what I'm looking for, and that's what I've got. That's the little 1 foot ones. You can also see on this one here the same thing. Instead of one long stem, we've now got a couple of, well, hopefully we want 3. 3's ideal, 3's perfect. Any more than that is okay, you can deal with it, you can get 4, or you could remove one of them. But that's the way this one should grow. Now I did the same on the taller trees, the established little 3 odd year old trees. I pinched them because they too were starting to get leggy. I'm wanting them to scaffold out here, and I'm not sure. Looks like they're trying to throw up branches and maybe even figs. Maybe just branches. Probably branches and figs, but of course we'll be in August in a couple of weeks time, so there's not a hope in hell of any of these going anywhere. I couldn't really have pinched them in May because that would have been a bit too early. But even on the established ones, you see, to stop them growing leggy shoots, I pinched them, and more branching, more figs next year. Hopefully brabas, because this year we had none, and that's the effect you want on the pinching. And these at the moment won't be, I'll not do any of these this year. These are just cuttings, which I'll leave to continue to grow in their little tree pots. And next year they too will have to be dealt with, although they are growing a bit tall. That's already a couple of feet tall, but I'm not way to pinch something which is barely rooted. Give you an update on the corn, sweet corn. Flowers at the top have done all their pollen in, so hopefully now whatever's to be pollinated has been pollinated, and they seem to be swelling. They've been pollinated, hand pollination, because obviously we're in the polytunnel here, so it was really simple. You would just, too late now because they're now finished, but you would gather pollen in your hand, spread it amongst the, whatever you want to call these things, tassels, and we'll find out anyway if it's worked or not. They're growing, and there's a few of them, but it's the first. I've never done these before, so we'll see how they get on. And this is the unnamed variety. It's an Italian, probably green, I'm not sure. They've now got to the point where they, well, if you grow figs you'll know, they get to a point where they just tend to stop. They reach a size and then they don't move for a little while, so you're 3-4 weeks you're wondering what's going on, and then when it's time for them to ripen they just start to swell very quickly. But right now they're not doing very much, but as long as they're staying healthy looking, I'm happy. This other one is the brown turkey. I think they're slightly bigger. It's an older tree, slightly older. Not 1,000,000% sure it's a brown turkey, because again it's the first time I've got any fruits off them, so we'll see how they go. And it has got a 9-10 fruits on it. That's the Italian green. Like I say, they are clean and healthy, so that's all I could hope for. When they start to shrivel up or go yellow, I'll know that they've failed. But at the moment they're looking good. That's the fig cuttings in 3 pots. 2, 3, 4 in each pot. This is them from the other side. Just a side note here. You ever heard of a cucamelon? They're cucamelons. That's what a cucamelon looks like. It's basically a cucumber. It's an olive shaped cucumber. It looks just like a watermelon. It starts to grow, it kind of looks like that. But yeah, it's all over the place. I like to try everything, so here's a papaya a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Threw the seeds in this little trough of earth, and got a couple dozen papayas coming up. It's a bit late. Been better if I'd done these in March, April. Now we'd have proper plants, whereas now, by the time they get to winter, they won't be strong enough to survive winter. But they're fun to grow, cost me nothing. So that's an update on the polytunnel, the fig pinching, fig development. That's all for now. Come back to keep updated. See you all later.